The throne room of Sundari trembles with the sound of clashing blades. Maul and Savage Opress press forward, their crimson sabers flashing in a furious rhythm against the whirling storm of Darth Sidious. Palpatine, however, is a master. He blocks each strike, his movements graceful and precise. He laughs, a sharp and cruel sound as his twin blades whirl. He moves with inhuman speed, rushing in between them, cutting and stabbing from impossible angles. But this time, Maul is ready. He is fueled by a decade of rage, born in the madness of Lotho Minor. As Sidious enters, Maul doesn't just challenge his old master, he springs an ambush. Savage bellows like a beast, lunging forward, his massive double-bladed saber crashing down with apocalyptic force. Sidious, for just a flicker of a moment, is caught off guard. He expected fear, submission. He got unbridled aggression. He parries Savage's clumsy but powerful blows while defending against Maul's precise assault. But the brothers' relentless combination, a storm of fury and finesse, begins to wear him down. Savage shrugs off a blast of force lightning and lands a devastating punch that shatters Sidious's jaw. As the Dark Lord stumbles, Maul's darksaber slices through the hilt of one of his lightsabers. Then Savage dives in, slashing low, severing Sidious's leg at the knee. The Sith Lord collapses, his cackle twisting into a shriek of disbelief. He tries to summon the Force, his free hand trembling with sparks of lightning, but Savage slams him to the ground, pinning him down for Maul to approach. Maul stands over his fallen master, his yellow eyes blazing, not with madness, but with absolute triumph. "I am the Sith," he snarls, "and you are dead." With one swift motion, Maul drives his saber down. The red blade sears through flesh and bone, silencing the Dark Lord forever. The throne room goes still. The galaxy shifts in that instant. The dark side ripples outward, a monumental void left where its master once stood. Maul rises slowly, chest heaving, staring at the smoldering corpse. He looks at his brother, whose own wounds smoke in the silence. He then lifts his head toward the throne. "It's ours, brother. The galaxy is ours." It was a bold boast, and just that, boasting. As Maul relaxes back on his throne, he considers the situation properly. The difference in power between his fledgling Shadow Collective and the vast war machines of the Republic and the Separatists is still immense. Prime Minister Almec says as much when he meets with Maul and his other captains. If the Republic learns about this, they will throw their full power against us. They have far more soldiers and weapons than we do, Master. To fight them would be a dangerous plan. The Pike representative agrees. Then fight them alone. The Pikes are not an army. We will not send our dealers and enforcers to die in this war, especially not one where there is no profit. Calm yourselves, my friends, Maul says, a predatory smile spreading across his face. War with the Republic is not what I wish either. It would be pointless and only sap our strength. When my late master began his plan, the Republic was in decline. All he wished was to upset that balance. And by removing him, we have ensured that. Now all we must do is allow the rot he has cultivated to devour its body. Slowly, his fellow crime bosses begin to smile. That, they understand, to reap the rewards of chaos. The death of Chancellor Palpatine causes a significant uproar. On Sereno, Count Dooku feels the void in the Force, and panic sets in. The Grand Architect of the game is dead, and Dooku is left exposed, with a fracturing Separatist alliance and a rogue General Grievous who now has no master. On Coruscant, chaos reigns. Chancellor Palpatine has vanished. To make sense of it, Maul begins to sow his own brand of chaos. First, Almec releases a public statement revealing that Palpatine died during a diplomatic trip to Mandalore, expressing deep apologies and offering to send his body back. The sight of the shrouded corpse on the holonet leaves few able to deny what happened. This only leaves more questions. Why was he there? Why did he not inform the Senate? The Pikes, Black Sun, and Hutts fan the flames of these questions on the streets. Some rumors are nonsense, that Palpatine was visiting a secret paramour, but here and there someone whispers the truth, that the Chancellor was actually a Sith. Then, Almec secretly auctions off Palpatine's lightsaber to a collector, ensuring the information leaks directly to the Jedi. While the Senate dismisses the rumors, the Jedi are alarmed. Dooku's old warning about a Sith in the Senate now paints all the evidence toward Palpatine. Most importantly, the single most devastating command in galactic history is never given. With Sidious dead, there is no one to issue Order 66. The inhibitor chips remain dormant. The Jedi are not betrayed. The Great Purge does not happen. And without Sidious whispering in his ear, Anakin Skywalker's tragic fall is averted. He remains a hero of the Republic, though deeply troubled by the galaxy's spiraling instability. While the Jedi turn their suspicions toward the Senate and the Senate toward the Army, the Shadow Collective moves where it has always thrived. The Pikes and Black Suns strengthen their influence within the core worlds. They smuggle spice by the freighter load into the lower levels, recruiting the destitute into their ranks. Gang wars erupt as they push out local competition, forcing the Republic to divert clone patrols from the war front. This divides the Republic's attention, much to the frustration of Warhawks. At the front of this new war are Anakin and Obi-Wan, who see the danger Maul poses. They lead efforts to raid drug dens and dismantle trafficking operations. While the syndicates are no match for the clone army, they are aided on the Senate floor by the Hutts, who use their veneer of legitimacy to meet with senators. With the galaxy unstable, the Hutts offer discreet support to nervous politicians in exchange for favors. In the Senate Hall, senators begin voting against their own blocks, unknowingly carrying out Maul's design. His throne on Mandalore, Maul watches. The Jedi grows suspicious of the Senate, he muses. The Senate grows suspicious of the Jedi. Their fear feeds the fire, and through that fire, we shall rule. The one thing the Senate and Jedi can agree on is the need to intervene on Mandalore. The death of Palpatine on the planet gives the Republic all the legal justification it needs. A massive fleet is gathered to invade Mandalore and liberate it from Death Watch. When Obi-Wan hears of this, he is one of the first to volunteer. The invasion begins like a battle from the Republic of old. Outposts are swiftly overturned, and the Republic makes deep inroads into Mandalorian territory. But Maul is ready. Informants have already fed him the plan. While Death Watch meets the clones on the ground, Maul deploys his true army to wage a shadow war. Senators on his payroll call back forces to handle manufactured threats in their home systems. Crooked politicians vote to redirect supplies to other fronts, seeing the CIS as the larger threat. By the time the Republic fleet reaches the moon of Concordia, they are already running low on ammunition and facing supply delays. Anakin, leading the air assault, curses the situation. He prepares a bombing run on a fortified mining shaft, but Obi-Wan's voice crackles over the comm. No, Anakin, we can't destroy this base. There are supplies here we can use. Master, we could be walking right into an ambush. We need to fight for every inch of ground in there. Believe me, I don't like this any more than you do. However, I don't have the supplies to strike at Mandalore, and we'll need everything we can get. Anakin and his squadron break off, and Obi-Wan's infantry repels down the mine shafts. It is just as Anakin predicted. The battle is horrific. Mandalorian warriors lash out from the shadows with flamethrowers and fiber blades. After days of brutal fighting, they capture the base and await their supply ships. After a few days, a small flotilla emerges. But these are not military ships. High Command informs the fleet captain that they are independent privateers recruited to help. The order is given to let them pass, but they approach too fast. When they don't respond to warnings, Republic ships open fire. Half the flotilla is destroyed, but the other half slams into the Republic fleet. Blinding explosions of red and yellow blossom across space as the ships are consumed by fire. Those were no supply ships. They were fire ships packed with iridium, sent by the Shadow Collective. Nearly a third of the Republic fleet is destroyed or badly damaged. The invasion is over. The fleet limps back home, a disastrous humiliation for the Republic. The temple's halls are dark with unease. When they return, Obi-Wan pores over all the communications from before the battle, and then he sees it, a communication with a shipping officer, one with deep ties to the Hutt cartels. All of this leads back to the Hutts, he reports to the council. Shipping delays, redirected supplies, entire fleets lost to false orders. The Senate has been compromised. As they look deeper, they find multiple senators involved. The Hutts had offered to transport supplies for a fraction of the cost, provided the senators waived all the usual security checks. The Jedi Council convenes one final vote. They will no longer wait for the Republic to destroy itself. Armored Jedi strike teams storm senatorial offices. Records are seized. Corrupt aides detained. The Senate erupts in fury, accusing the Jedi of a coup and passing a decree stripping the order of its military authority. The Republic fractures. Entire clone battalions declare for the Council, while others pledge loyalty to the Senate. For the first time, clones fire upon clones on the streets of Coruscant. The Jedi are declared traitors, ordered to be killed on sight. To Maul, it is music, a symphony of chaos. He allows his name to surface, tracing a captured shipment of heavy weapons back to Mandalore. For Obi-Wan, it is a confirmation. It isn't pointless, Anakin, he insists in the burning temple. The weapons seized on Coruscant all trace back to Mandalorian codes. Who else would profit from such chaos but Maul? He's pulling the strings, Anakin, and if we don't stop him now, there won't be a republic left to save. All right, Anakin sighs. One last mission then. They track the shipment to a small smuggler's port in the Outer Rim. The Jedi step from their shuttle, sabers ready. Almost at once, the shadows move. Savage Opress emerges first, towering, his saber staff glinting scarlet. Behind him, from the darkness, Maul steps forward, his eyes burning. Kenobi, Skywalker, you bring yourselves to me at last. You'll regret ever crawling out of that hole, Maul, Anakin spits. I wasn't old enough to face you before. I am now. Savage barrels forward, swinging with raw power. Anakin meets him head-on, blades shattering sparks against the metal walls. At the same time, Obi-Wan clashes with Maul, at every blow heavy with memory and years of hatred. Maul roars, "You cannot save them, Kenobi. You cannot save anything." Anakin drives Savage back with raw power, but the brute absorbs it, almost amused, before countering with monstrous swings. A sudden kick sends Anakin sprawling. Obi-Wan tries to cover him, but Maul seizes the moment, driving him back with a furious storm of slashes. Unable to help his student, Obi-Wan can only watch as Savage hammers Anakin against a bulkhead. The young Jedi launches a desperate strike, but Savage catches his wrist in a crushing grip. With a sickening crack, Anakin drops his saber. The Zabrak's blade flashes, plunging through his chest. Anakin gasps, eyes wide, before crumpling to the floor. "No!" Obi-Wan screams. He steps closer, but Maul is already upon him. The duel becomes a tempest, red against blue. For a moment, Obi-Wan drives Maul back, fights at grief, giving his blade power. But Savage joins his brother, and together they overwhelm him. Obi-Wan blocks high, then low, but two blades strike as one, battering his defenses. His arms tremble, his footing slips. Maul's blade pierces him cleanly through the chest. Obi-Wan gasps, eyes fixed on his old enemy, and collapses beside Anakin. With that, the Jedi Order loses its two greatest heroes. The galaxy we know is gone. There is no Galactic Empire, no Death Star. The Jedi, though scattered, survive. But the Outer Rim belongs to Maul. His Shadow Empire, with Mandalore as its throne world, is a dominant force. An empire of crime, fear, and perpetual conflict, enforced by Mandalorian steel. Maul, the apprentice who was cast aside, would have finally become the master. Not just of a single apprentice, but of a dark destiny of his own making. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.